95 featuring Tugboat or Shockmaster or perhaps WWE former tag team champion Typhoon. What about Memphis wrestling legend Big Bubba? They were all there in the house today. I thought it was a ton of fun. Hello, everybody. This is the live reaction. I am Dustin Starr. What's up, Rico? How are you? Give you guys just a second to file in here, ask your questions, or if there's anything in specific that you want to talk about on episode 195, featuring Tugboat, then go ahead and put those in the comments right now. I agree, Rico. What a freaking show from top to bottom. I mean, you've got DDT issuing a challenge next week for the Memphis Wrestling Women's Championship, taking on C-Rex. You've got Colton Cage making a return next week. It's been announced that Gio Savage versus Draco, two former friends and tag team partners, squaring off next week. It is official. Plus, Aaron Roberts successfully defends the Memphis Heritage Championship with Justin Case barred from the WrestleCenter. Absolutely incredible. He got the job done. So much going on that we can talk about, and also this weekend, so Sunday, which is tomorrow. Boxing legend Butterbean is coming to Memphis Wrestling. You better get those tickets in advance because it is going to sell out. Plus, huge news this week from WWE ID on Twitter. Somebody is getting signed from Memphis Wrestling. WWE says that a Memphis wrestling superstar has been ID'd, and it's all going down tomorrow at the WrestleCenter. Who's it going to be? Is it just one? Is it multiple? Someone's been ID'd, and it's going down tomorrow, milestone 200. Also, we've got a big tribute to Derek King coming up at our live event tomorrow, memphiswrestling.tv. It's a retirement ceremony fit for a king, so you don't want to miss that if you can. Check this out. All right, let me get caught up here. Eddie Kane, man, members only. 12 months is what it says. Let's see what that is. Okay, let me get caught up, guys. What's up, Eddie Kane, man? What's up, Arturo? Hello, Dustin, my dear friend. How are you doing today? I'm doing great. It's a beautiful day here in Memphis, Tennessee. I'm going to head to the WrestleCenter here in just a little bit, finish up prep work for tomorrow's milestone 200. And then tonight, I'm emceeing a gig out at Holy Rosary in Memphis. And then, of course, tomorrow is Memphis Wrestling Live with Butterbean. All right, so, yeah, doing good. What's up, Willie Bowen? How are you? Thomas Yellow, Dustin Mercy, Daddy, baby. Hey, Thomas, you're going to love this. Monday, in living color with Wolfie D. I'm on the podcast talking all about Memphis wrestling. Eddie Kane, man, there he is. Rico says, Dustin, was Terrence Ward okay? I've never seen him like that. Rico, I don't know. Terrence Ward somehow has become very opinionative, and whatever that opinion is, it's certainly opposite from mine and Pete Pranica's. So not really sure what's gotten into Terrence. Eddie Kane, man's got the 12-month there. That means he has been a member only for a full year. And check out his championship badge. It's the Red Gun Show Championship, and it looks like he's got all the other titles underneath that, which I can't see because it's small in here in the chat, but it's all the championships that you get for having members only for so many months. So thank you for that, Eddie Kane, man. Also, I know you saw those awesome jackets that we have. We have a satin jacket. It's blue or red that has Memphis Wrestling rules on the back. If you haven't seen it, I'm going to post it here on YouTube. We are taking pre-orders at the event tomorrow. Be perfect. Ben, there's Ben. What's up? Love that championship badge too. Dustin, I'm excited for tomorrow. Me too. What are you looking forward to the most? You know it's milestone 200. And now it looks like it's going to be Gun Show versus Aaron Roberts for the Memphis Heritage Championship. Rico says, if you booked ACH versus Zay Washington, who do you think would win? Who's ACH? I'm sorry, I'm not following. Tell me who ACH is. What's up, Ronald? Willie says, was that Tugboat on Memphis Wrestling today? Yeah, Willie, it was Tugboat, if you can believe that. I feel like that he's almost like he's great. Trust me, he is like the coolest guy. Really love Tony Atlas. He's a lot of fun. He's going to be on the program next week. But it almost feels like, you know, Tugboat doesn't have the beard. He doesn't have the long hair. It's almost like, man, hey, that's what I used to look like. But he was very, very good on the microphone. Very, very good to work with. He actually lives in Tennessee, so I would not be surprised if we saw Tugboat again. Rico says, I was a fan of Tom Latimer during his time in TNA as Brahm. He's the NWA World Champion. Ludacris, the Gaston, got his clock cleaned. All right. There's Eddie Kane, main $5 donation. Thank you for that, brother. Anybody that does donate money here on the live reaction, we turn that around into the form of tickets and have somebody that typically can't come to a Memphis Wrestling event, whether it's ticket prices or family situation or whatever, and we give those tickets back to those people. Eddie Kane, man, was that mock Shockmaster helmet made from a mop bucket Jay Webb had on? Yes, I think there's a whole story, probably for members only, on that. Jay Webb is a huge fan. Of course, Makari Candy did great. Loved the autograph at the desk. It was just a lot of fun. And a lot of wrestling is too serious. I mean, we've got our serious stuff on the show, which you saw today in the main event. It was just a fantastic match between the Boz and Aaron Roberts, two people that I think are at the top of anybody's prospect list. But then you got to have some fun stuff on the show, and that's where guys like Lord Gaston come in. That's where guys like Jay Webb, and I do believe that was a mop bucket that had glitter all over it that he stumbled out of the curtain with. So I thought that was crazy, but very, very fun stuff. Rob says Brad Stinkerhorn won. You're right, he did. I don't know how that happened because I love the tag team of Zay Washington and Denzel Rollins. Man, those two guys are very impactful, unique offense, great strikers, know themselves around the ring. If you notice, when Zay Washington gets in the ring, he like glides onto that apron and hops into the ring. Same thing with Denzel, just two really, really good, technically sound performers. Now tag teaming, that could bode bad news for the tag team division. Bo says, early congrats to Simon for getting ID'd. Let's all give a big hand for Memphis's most innocent man. It's hilarious. Psycho Simon has somehow won the hearts of guys like you, Bo, and I'm not even sure how this is even possible. Maybe it could be Simon. He's been doing it a long time, a lot of experience. What do you guys think? Put it in the chat. Who's getting signed tomorrow? Rico says, speaking of WWE ID, I believe there's 2 more schools that should join Flatback Sean Spears and Breeze School, Hatchet Pro Wrestling, run by Dexter Loomis and John Davis. Well, I would go one step further and say, why not the Memphis Wrestling WrestleCenter? Built from the ground up from professional wrestlers, from Memphis wrestlers, from myself, from King Cobra, from Psycho Simon, from My Maria. So many people, I can't list them all. Why not Memphis Wrestling WrestleCenter? Stay tuned. I think this thing is going to grow into something big. You guys are going to really love it. Keenan's here. Tugboat, still a big dude, man. Whoa. I told him I knew you were big. But holy moly, I'm looking up at this dude. I mean, like legit. I can tell just when he walks into a room, he was ginormous, standing over everybody. Eddie Kane, man, says, yeah, Tugboat and Tony Atlas are the best. Tony Atlas is coming up on the program next week. And as you could see in the VIP area, he had a ton of fun with everybody. And anything you've ever heard about Tony Atlas is probably true. He did look at some feet, but he was so much fun, man. I love Tony Atlas. Adam says, with what's going on with politics over the past couple of weeks, I'm just glad you guys are able to escape for us. Thank you, Dustin. Thank you, Adam. Yeah, whatever's going on in the world, man, we are going to still have some fun on Memphis Wrestling, that's for sure. Rico says, ACH used to wrestle on NXT as Jordan Miles. I'm not familiar. I guess I'll have to go and Google that. But either way, I'm going with Zay Washington. Rob says, I think DDT's experience could negate C-Rex. What does the C stand for? I'm not sure, Rob, but if anybody can do it, it's former Memphis Wrestling Women's Champion, DDT. She's been here since day one. She is a locker room leader, like she says, and if at all possible, she can take C-Rex's head, stick it right here, and DDT her head right into the mat. Would it be enough? Hopefully, we'll find out next week. King Jamie's in the house. King Davis is here. Great looking fan of the week. Yeah, congratulations on that, big man. The King. I need to wear that Memphis Wrestling shirt you got me. I love that. Thank you for that, Jamie. Willie says, I'm glad Gun Show Brett Michaels is getting his Memphis Heritage Championship back. Man, looks like milestone 200, one of the biggest main events ever. Honestly, Aaron Roberts has survived a lot to keep that Memphis Heritage Championship. Bo says, what dirt does Jay Webb have on all these people to force them to be his friends? Makari Candy, Hammerstone, now Shockmaster himself. It's insane as Jay Webb is. I totally agree. How do these guys have any friends like that? I mean, and I don't mean that in a bad way. I just mean like, who would have thought all those names, and including the Shockmaster? Not sure that he was friends with Shockmaster. I think that he's just a big fan of him. And that's why you saw him stumble out, try to get the autograph and all that kind of stuff. Rob says, hello to all the Memphis Maniacs. What's up, Rob? How are you? Love that championship badge. Rico says, I think DDT is putting herself in danger with C-Rex, especially with Nixie in her corner, the so-called champion. I agree with you. Are you kidding me? anybody that steps across from C-Rex, man, woman, animal, doesn't matter. You're putting yourself in some kind of danger. See the potential of Denzel and Zay. Me too, Ben. Jason says, hello, Dustin Starr. How are you today? Happy Saturday. Oh, yeah, Jason, I am fired up, baby, because tomorrow, live at the WrestleCenter, Butterbean's going to be in the house, and who's he going to knock out? Hopefully, we see some better punches thrown than what we did last night on Netflix. Jamie says, Jay is very entertaining, but it's a great wrestler, too. Eddie Kane, Main, Mike Anthony's getting signed tomorrow. Eddie Kane, Main, calling the shot. If anybody's deserving, it is him. Jason says Memphis Wrestling's a good show. Thank you, Jason. Kennan says Jimmy Blaylock getting ID'd. Well, when he had that crash, I guess they had to take his identification, if that's what you mean. Rico says Memphis Wrestling should also definitely join the WWE ID system. Well, you guys saw them tweet us out earlier this week, so stay tuned. Apparently something's cooking. They're going to ID somebody at the WrestleCenter tomorrow. Eddie Kane, man, what was your first meeting? Was that your first time meeting Tugboat in person? Yes, actually it was. A lot of the wrestlers that we book like that, it is my first time. I won't say a lot because most of them I've wrestled with in the past or my time with developmental or headed to developmental or whatever. So there's usually some sort of kind of relationship there. But it was my first time meeting Tugboat, although I did work with Tugboat's son way back in 2010, who is now working for NXT on the production side and just killing it right now. But yeah, so there's a tie because I knew his son for a long time. Rob says Gaston got to lose in front of a legend. Big day for him. What's up, Amber? How are you? Ben says, how do you feel about last night's fight? I hated it. It was the worst fight I've ever seen in my life. Tyson didn't even throw 100 punches. Come on. Willie says DDT's awesome. Rico says, Dustin, why do you think I look forward to Stars of Tomorrow so much? I love Memphis Wrestling WrestleCenter. Rico, man, we have some really good up-and-coming talent. On November 30th, it's going down. That's a Saturday, a special Saturday, where it's going to be episode 199. So before we head into the milestone 200, we're going to take a peek into the future in Stars of Tomorrow 199. So a lot of stuff on the card there, and I'm hearing that Mike Anthony is going to be in the house to give a huge internet championship opportunity to one of these Stars of Tomorrow. So stay tuned for that. Plus, Tim Bosby one-on-one with Jonathan Gresham. What a match to have, especially with the WWE ID program probably watching that. What a huge opportunity all around. Eddie K-Man says DDT better not underestimate C-Rex. Cook's here. I think Dustin Starr should get ID'd. Well, doesn't that mean we're ID'd if we've got somebody being signed at the WrestleCenter tomorrow? Maybe we've been ID'd already and just don't know it. Robert says, Big Dustin, what it do? You already know, brother. Jason says, where's K Toomer? Not seen him since. Yeah, no, I agree. Where's K Toomer? Where's the big man? Stay tuned. Andrea says, hi, Dustin. Love you. You're awesome. Love you too, Andrea. You're awesome too. Thank you for joining us here. Adam says, I think you guys can do a special Saturday night show for Memphis Wrestling in prime time with the Memphis Heritage title as the main event for the show. What do you think about that? I absolutely love it. And speaking of prime time, WMC Action News 5 Plus has granted Memphis Wrestling a couple of prime time spots coming up. I don't remember the dates right off the top of my head, but this is huge. So WMC is putting Memphis Wrestling on prime time, which means that's going to help grow our audience that views us on that station on Fridays and Saturdays. And plus, it's going to have even more of an audience see us to come and chat and watch and do all that stuff right here on YouTube. So yeah, the partnership with WMC has been awesome, which is Channel 5. And I think that we're starting to really earn our stripes as our company continues to grow and as we continue to somehow land a WWE ID or a major superstar coming to Memphis or the Grizzlies wrestling night, or we're going to do 2 Arkansas Travelers wrestling nights next year. So as we continue to grow, more of those opportunities are going to come up, like WMC putting us on prime time. So thank you for bringing that up, Adam. I've got just a couple more minutes. Willie's here. Amber's here. Rico says it's his favorite wrestling program on YouTube. Thank you, brother. Love seeing Tugboat and Memphis Wrestling. What about you? He was so nice. Tugboat was super awesome. Loved him. Wrestling Proud is here. What's going on? Rob says Aaron learned cheat from watching Justin Case cutting line at a buffet. Butterbean's going to knock out Jason Freeman. Okay. But I hope Diana's experience can overcome C-Rex's pure force and strength. Hey, you know what? It kind of seems like if you just run around the ring and make her chase you, it's like rope-a-doping. We'll see what Diana Taylor does next week. What's up, Amber? Willie says, Dustin, who's your favorite wrestlers from Memphis CWA? Jerry Lawler, Superstar Bill Dundee, and the Boogie Woogie Man, handsome Jimmy Valiant, handsome Jimbo from Mempho. Also, I love me some PG-13, man. I love a lot of those old school guys. Rob says, I want to see Butterbean knock out Brad Stinkerhorn. That would be great. Rico says, so about Gio Savage. I was a fan until he turned heel and teamed with Draco. Well, next week, one-on-one, Gio Savage versus Draco. And I'm pretty sure the WrestleCenter is going to be rocking for Gio Savage. Andrea says, hi, Dustin. How do you feel about Bloodline War Games at Survivor Series? I think they've jumped the shark now by adding Bronson Reed, and that means they're going to add Seth Rollins on the other side. So I don't know about it. Not sure, Andrea. Adam says, and I just want to jump into tonight, wrestling triple header first on YouTube, NWA, okay, AEW Collision, right, and then POW Live. All right, looks like you've got it all lined up, Adam. I appreciate you for joining us here and including us on your Saturday watch programs. Bo says, Dustin, do you agree that Draco deserves a rematch against Mike Anthony with Gio barred from the building like Justin Case was today? I think you've got a point there, honestly, Bo, but not to bury the lead. I think Gio Savage and Draco are going to have to go one-on-one and settle the differences, or else it's probably going to end in the exact same way. What's up, Sierra? How are you? King Jamie says Gresham and Bosby's going to be great. I think so, too. Draco sucks. Derek King retired. He's my favorite wrestler back in the day. Jason, it's pretty cool that Derek King has a platform that a lot of people watch to where he's able to say goodbye to all the fans who have supported him for all these years. I think that's really, really cool. And we all love Derek King. We don't want to see him go, but if he is going to go, I mean, just imagine how many wrestlers. Me as a kid, when I saw Ricky the Dragon Steamboat just disappear, I didn't know he was retired. I always wondered, and the internet wasn't like it is now. You couldn't find out. So it was like, man, what happened to him? I think it's cool that Derek King's going to be able to tell fans all around the world that have watched him for over 20 years. You know, he's going to be able to go out on his own. He's going to be able to thank them. You know, and he's not leaving, so Derek King will be around. He just won't be actively competing in a Memphis wrestling ring. So I do think it's cool that he has the platform to say goodbye to his fans. Draco could be ID'd from Reality of Wrestling, man. Kenan says, where's K Toomer? Stay tuned. I'm sure we'll see him back. Rico says, I feel a lot of times most faces should remain a face, and he turned heel too quick. Plus, everyone can play face heel. And I think what it was is Draco talked Gio into doing it and said that they could win the tag team titles. And when that didn't happen, I think Gio was ready to bail out. It just doesn't seem like Gio's nature. If you know Gio Savage, it just doesn't seem to be in his nature to be a nasty guy like Draco. Now, if you meet Draco, you can understand why Draco is Draco. I hope to see K Toomer back soon. Me too, Jason. Eddie Kane made. Hey, look, K Toomer's in the Memphis wrestling family. Don't you guys worry one single bit. Jason Freeman says, but Gun Show's the best wrestler ever. Boo! Man, hopefully. And I hate to pull for anybody. Actually, you know, I just want to see a hell of a match. Gun Show against Aaron Roberts for the Memphis Heritage Championship. It looks like that's what we're going with episode milestone 200. Do you think the Twins of Salem could exorcise the devil out of the righteous path? I don't know, but I'm kind of intrigued about what's going to happen next on this thing. Rico says Kurt Angle, Jericho, Cena, Triple H, CM Punk, just to name a few. I know was good at both playing good and bad. Rugged Reggie Russell, what's going on? How are you? Brian's here. Mercy Daddy from Thomas. Is there a chance with the ID program that we could see Zilla Fatu or Jack Cartwheel in Memphis? Kenan, as soon as I saw that Jack Cartwheel was signed, I said yes. I've been wanting to get Jack Cartwheel here in Memphis for a long time, but he's on the other side of the United States, so it costs a small fortune to even get him here. But it does seem like finally we might be able to get Jack Cartwheel here. But Zilla Fatu is a whole nother animal. I've been trying to book Zilla Fatu for 2 years. Stay tuned, because it's going to happen. And by the way, speaking of stay tuned, next week on Memphis Wrestling social media, keep your eyes peeled, because we've got a huge announcement. Cook says episode 200 is going to be great. If someone misses the chance to be there live, they'll be kicking themselves. I totally agree, Cook. Speaking of heels, Dustin, I looked at some of your matches, including where you rather Maria introduce you instead of yeah. Lots of great fun with that, Rico. Andrea, hi, Dustin. How you feel about WWE Women's United States Championship? I love it. I think it's well overdue. Brian says, congrats on 200. Thank you. WWE has too many title belts, man, but they do need mid-card or a United States or Intercontinental or something like that for the women's division. I totally agree. Do a Hitman. So glad I found you through Ryan Barber. Awesome. Y'all always making banger wrestling content. Thank you so much. I really appreciate that. What's your guess for Goldberg's retirement match? I think, it looks like it's going to be Gunther just based off of what they've been doing. Dustin always looking like a boss. Thank you, Rugged Reggie. I appreciate that. How is Terrence Ward? He's bitter and angry for some reason. Rob says, is Alan still an instructor at the WrestleCenter? No, he has not been there for a couple of years now, actually. Amber says, I watched Derek when I was a kid. Me too. I am old now. Me too. Rico, personally for me, NXT did right having their own separate single and tags for the women. Yes, absolutely. Dustin, Bruder. Easy for me to say. Bruiser Brody ever wrestle in Memphis? I do believe Bruiser Brody did wrestle in Memphis, but I was not alive to see it. I always keep my eyes peeled on Memphis wrestling. I know you do, Eddie Kane, man. And if you guys missed the members only Q&A, you got to go back in there and put your questions. If you guys have some juicy questions that you want to know about from Memphis wrestling, that's where you're going to get the stuff. Eddie Kane, man, knows that. Just call me Hitman. All right, Hitman. Speaking of NXT, when they brought WWE the Cruiserweight Championship, it honestly could have remained in NXT because that's where the Cruiserweights. I totally agree, Rico. Not sure why they abolished that thing. They could have changed the look of that championship and kept it as the Cruiserweight Championship in NXT. AEW has too many belts. And the problem with AEW is they acknowledge too many other belts on a regular basis. And I say that because, we might have a Reality of Wrestling champion come in, or a United Wrestling Network champion come in, or an NWA champion come in, or something like that. And we do acknowledge it, but it's not a championship that's like all the time on our program. I think that we do maybe a better job of letting the people know that this is a specialty. This title belt really doesn't belong here, but if it does change hands, it could be a big deal. But yeah, they just acknowledge way too many things. Hi, Dustin. How do you feel about Andre Chase putting Chase U on the line against Ridge Holland? I'm not really into the program there. I don't know enough about that one. Memphis Wrestling has the best looking title belts. I appreciate that. We've got about 25 championship belts on sale at the WrestleCenter right now. Could we see Athena in Memphis Wrestling? I'd love to bring Athena. Ember Moon? Yeah. People say Terrence is turning heel. I think he's just turning real. That's probably a pretty good point too, Bo. Eddie Kane, man, I think T. Ward is picking up Bobby Heenan's persona. Hey, look, man, I actually kind of like it. Don't get me wrong. It makes me dislike Terrence, but I kind of like it because I can set him straight from time to time. AEW made a mistake at the time with Brian Cage when they gave him the FTW title. There's just something about Brian Cage that they're just not going all in with him, and I'm not sure what it is. Hitman will be saving up and buying the Memphis replica off eBay store. Oh, man, there's one that we've never used on television, and I imagine that if there's a title change sometime soon, we'll probably introduce that championship belt. We just added all those title belts to eBay, plus autographed action figures and a whole bunch of stuff. So go check that out. It's the Memphis Wrestling eBay. If you want to know how to go there, then go to memphiswrestling.tv and you'll see the link. Getting one soon enough. I like to. It's called Color Commentary. Yes, that's true. And you got to think too, like at the beginning of this thing, me and Terrence were both leads. Like there was a time that we were both on television and I was doing color as a professional wrestler, like a heel wrestler doing color, and he was doing the play-by-play and lead commentary or whatever. And imagine how your boy feels, because I'm still green at this. I've only been doing this a couple of years, 195 episodes, actually 295 episodes, but 195 doing play-by-play like this. So I'm still green as well. But sitting next to Pete Pranica, award-winning NBA broadcaster, woo! You know what I'm saying? Like, there's some pressure there, but yeah, we all work very well together. T. Ward needs to develop a sneer. Tyson fight sucked. I've seen better fights at Walmart. Thank you for that, Brian. Andrea, I can't believe Aaron Roberts beat Tim Bosby without Justin Case in the building, but he still cheated. He did. Amber says, hey, Dustin, how's the angel baby girl? I am about to go and rock her around here in just a second, actually. She's doing great. Thank you, Amber. Rico said, had incredible matches with guys like Ricochet and John Morrison. Doing great at play-by-play, Dustin. Thank you. I listened to the old stuff, the first 50 or 100 episodes, and I'm like, whew, how did you guys deal with me? Anyways, I think the one who could beat C-Rex for the women's championship is someone who's as big and as strong as her. I think you're right, but Is there anybody currently on the roster that is just as big and just as strong? Jake Paul couldn't beat a 58-year-old. How sad is that? Man, I really honestly, I've seen Mike Tyson sparring. He didn't even try. Anyways, that's all the time that we have. I think if you guys, I'm going to make a post, okay? Those of you who are members, I don't think anyone lost a nipple today. King Davis, King Jamie. Pete Pranica tries so hard not to die laughing when I say nipple. And then when it's a women's match and they chop, you notice I don't say it. They called me out about it. Wasn't surprised by Aaron Roberts winning. Thank you, Gun Show, for saving Tim Bosby. Maria was there, going back in time, watching episode 1. Yes, Maria will make her return at some point. I was hoping that she'd be ready to come back by episode milestone 200, but it doesn't look like that's going to be the case. But stay tuned. Tyson lost, Paul won, 2 of them, boom. All right, guys, I'm going to make a post here in just a second where you guys can post your questions. I want more questions than just Eddie Kane Main, even though Eddie Kane Main always has some good questions. Have a great day. Have a great weekend. All right. One last time, I'll tell you, get your Memphis Wrestling t-shirts, man. They're at prowrestlingtees.com/Memphis Wrestling. They're all new styles, all sizes, and they ship all over the world. You know they're going to run a huge special coming up on Black Friday. You got to check that out. Keep your eyes peeled to social media this week. We have a huge announcement. And then we have an even huger announcement coming up, and it's regarding December 8th. You will not want to miss it. And speaking of not missing it, don't miss tomorrow. That's Sunday, November 17th. WWE has ID'd somebody from Memphis Wrestling, and they're going to get a contract tomorrow at the WrestleCenter. Plus, boxing legend Butterbean will be in the house, and we're filming Milestone 200, which will feature the Gun Show getting his opportunity at the Memphis Heritage Championship against the 420-pound Memphis Heritage champion, Aaron Roberts, and a very, very special retirement ceremony for Derek, by God, greater than great King. Get those tickets at memphiswrestling.tv. Have a great week. See you at Derby City. Yes, that's right, Rob. All right. I am Dustin Starr saying so long, everybody. And I'll see you at bell time. Oh, yeah. See you guys. Butterbean's knocking Big Cheat Dalton out. Oh, come on. Get out of here. Hopefully Hollywood Jimmy takes a knuckle sandwich, or maybe Terrence Ward. Anybody but me. Thank you, Patrick. I'll see you soon.